Hello everyone. Today we are going to read Geography, chapter number 18, our environment. Firstly, what is environment? The term environment is derived from French word environ, means surroundings. So, environment is everything which surrounds us like air, water, trees, birds, etc. Next is elements of environment. Environment consists of two types of elements, biotic elements and abiotic elements. Biotic elements includes all living things like insects, birds, people, animal, microbe, etc. And abiotic elements include all non-living things like air, water, land, light, soil, weather, etc. Together, both biotic and abiotic components make up our environment. Our environment helps us to survive by providing us air, water, food, medicine, clothes, timber, and many more things which are essential for our survival. Next is interaction between biotic and abiotic elements. Around us, we can see living and non-living things which constantly interacting with each other. For example, weather. Weather which includes temperature, rainfall and humidity. It is an abiotic element, but it helps biotic elements such as plants to grow. Plants make their food by using the sunlight from the sun, moisture from the air and minerals from the soil. Same like growing of crops also depends on the climate and rainfall patterns as well as on the soil and on human beings. For insects, some organisms like earthworm make the soil fertile by their continuous movement within the soil. This helps this helps plants to get the required nutrients and allows the roots to breathe. So these all the biotic and abiotic elements depend on each other and interact with each other. So our next topic is components of environment. Our environment is made up of three basic components: natural, human and human-made components. First is natural components like land, air, water and biosphere means living things like plants, animals and human beings. When these living things and non-living things are found in their natural condition without any change by humans, that environment is known as natural environment. Next is human environment. It includes individual, family, community, human beings and their social, economic and political situations which are made by the human for themselves. That is called human environment. And the third one is human made environment. It is that environment which is made by the humans. It is not natural. Building, parks, roads, industries, monuments, all these are made by humans. So these are the examples of components of the environment. Now, let's discuss the components of our environment in detail. Firstly, natural environment. As we already read that it consists of lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere and biosphere. So firstly, lithosphere. It is the outermost layer or crust of the earth that is known as lithosphere. It consists mainly of rocks and minerals. Oceans and continents also form a part of lithosphere. The lithosphere provides a thin layer of fertile soil that supports agriculture. It also provides a space to build our houses and to do social economic activities. Lithosphere is highly enduring terrain. This terrain forms the diverse landforms on continents and ocean floors. The next is atmosphere. Atmosphere is the thin layer of air that surrounds the earth. It consists of gases such as oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen and dust and water vapor. The atmosphere traps the heat of the earth and also prevents the ultraviolet rays of the sun from affecting us. The atmosphere is also the domain where all weather phenomena took place, such as rain, winds, etc. Therefore, it is important for life to survive, as without air we cannot breathe. Our activities have different effects on Earth's environment. The increasing use of fossil fuels has changed the balance of gases in our environment. We have added millions of tons of carbon dioxide to our environment, which resulting in the greenhouse effect. This has triggered an increase in the average temperature on Earth, and the usage of dangerous chemicals such as chlorofluorocarbon has created a hole in the ozone layer in the atmosphere, that allowing harmful UV ultraviolet rays to enter the Earth's atmosphere and cause skin cancer. Besides this, in some regions, in some areas, chemical fumes have resulted in acid rain, which has destroyed forests and the vast agricultural land. The third one is hydrosphere. The hydrosphere comprises the various sources of water, fresh as well as saline water. These found in different types of water bodies such as river, lakes, waterlands, seas, oceans, polar ice caps, etc. Hydrosphere is also very essential for all the living organisms, as plants, animals and human beings cannot live without water. Hydrosphere is also the domain in which life begins on our planet millions of years ago. But nowadays, we human beings are polluting our water resources, and if we will do the same, we will not able to get fresh water and pure water that is essential for us. So, for this purpose, we all have to avoid water pollution. We for this thing we can do few things, like we should create minimum wastage or minimum garbage. All the waste water that must be treated at the source before being dumped in the rivers. Like if we are washing clothes, then that water, leftover water in which we have washed our clothes, we can use that water for cleaning our house before throwing that water on the roads or in the lanes. The next one is biosphere. It is a narrow zone of the earth where land, air, water interact with each other to support life. And the biosphere is a self-regulating and closed system where sunlight is the only element that comes from an external source. And the biosphere can extend up to as high as few kilometers into the atmosphere, where birds, insects, microbes, pollens and can be found. And it also extends up to few kilometers below the surface of the earth, means in the ocean floors and ocean floors. Some species of microbes have been discovered that can tolerate extremely dark, high temperature and pressure conditions in the deep ocean vents, means in the deep ocean floors where light is not there and the temperature is very high, but few organisms are there which can survive in these type of conditions. So our next topic is ecosystem. What is an ecosystem? It is a system formed by the interaction of all living organisms with each other and with their environment. Means all the living things like plants, animals, insects, birds, human beings, they all are dependent on each other and their environment, and along with the non-living things. They are also dependent on non-living things for their survival. Like animals, birds, insects, they are dependent on plants for their food. And same like plants are also dependent on animals for carbon dioxide. But these all living things also depend on non-living things like air, water, land, soil, temperature, rainfall, as they need all these things for their survival. An ecosystem can be as large as an ocean or a forest, and it can be as small as a pond or a garden. Like a school garden is an ecosystem. It may contain plants, fruit trees, butterflies, and microorganisms in the soil. All these things linked with each other in variety of ways, they depend on each other. Same like even a tree within a garden, it can be an ecosystem itself if it supports birds, fungi, mammals. So there are few examples of ecosystem like some tiny species of coral fish. They eat the algae growing over fish such as sharks. These helps the shark to remove any unwanted algae growing on its skin, while it helps the coral fish to obtain its food. Another example is there are certain fungi in the roots of some plants. The fungi induce certain chemicals which help the plants to absorb nitrogen from the soil. So all the things, living things and non-living things, they are interdependent. They interact with each other and with their environment, and that is called their ecosystem. Next is human environment. It includes humans and the environment made by them, like parks, houses, industries, roads, bridges, gardens, etc. All these things are made by humans, and the environment made by them, that is called human environment. We have learned previously that all the species, all the living things and non-living things are dependent on each other for their survival. They interact with their environment in which they live. Human beings also too have adapted to their environment. But however, for the few past decades, the environment has been changing rapidly, and all these changes have been brought about by humans due to deforestation, building of dams on rivers, mining and pollution caused by the enormous amount of water that pollutes the air, water and soil. A large number of plants and animals species have become extinct due to the human activities, as humans have destroyed their natural habitat. We people are cleaning forests for making industries, for making our houses, which are the natural inhabitant of plants and animals. So the plants and animals are losing their natural inhabitant, the place where they have to live. So that's why they are going to be extinct. Why our environment is changing? It all is due to human activities. Increasing population and urbanization, as the population is increasing day by day, and we are making industries, we are converting the areas into the towns, small villages we are converting into large towns. So as population is increasing, so the needs are also increasing. For fulfilling our needs, like we need more schools, hospitals, industries, vehicles, roads, houses, etc. For fulfilling these requirements, we are polluting, we are destroying our environment. Like from the industries and vehicles, the smoke creates that pollute our earth. And for making roads and houses and schools, hospitals, we are destroying the forest, we are cleaning forest and making these things over there. So we are destroying the land also, we are creating land pollution. and we also need water for running all these things. So we are also creating water pollution. We are also destroying our water. By modifying and destroying our environment, we are creating a threat for all the living and non-living things which are existing on our earth.